go ahead and open up the meeting at 6:30.
It's fine.
Oh, why did you move it?
I don't know.
No, we're taking pictures.
Oh, were they? Okay,
Okay.
that's fine.
Well,
We're
we can move it.
gonna move it?
Okay.
Yeah, like me. I've already had enough injuries. Can you get it? Fine. Held by the American flag. Okay, is that better? Alright.
Yes.
Okay, wait. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call. Alright, back on so we can see. There, I love the way you did the minutes last time. Alright, I'll do roll call tonight. Let's see here, Thomas Aidner, here, Barb Garber,
Here.
okay, Ken Riley,
Yep.
Steve Weaver,
Here.
Larry Wilson,
Here.
let's see here, Mr. Taurus, here, and Tammy,
Here.
and let's see, who are we missing here? Dun, 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 dun. John Locke is not here, absent.
Mark Osmore.
Oh, and Bart Dunsmore, oh, thank you. Yep, there it is, I was going down the wrong one. Alright, do we have a motion to accept the absences?
I'll make that motion with John Locke and Bart Dudson.
Okay, I'll second it, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all opposed? Motion carried. Okay, adoption or amendment of tonight's agenda, if everybody wants to take a quick look over it, see if there's anything that needs to be added on there. Okay, anybody have anything they wanna add to it, or for tonight's agenda?
I move we adopt the agenda as presented.
Alright,
Support.
okay, all in favor? Aye, all opposed? Okay, approval of last month's meeting minutes.
Nice job, Larry.
Yeah, I like the layout, it's very easy to go down through it.
I make a motion that we approve these minutes from November 15th meeting.
Okay, I'll second that, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all opposed? Awesome. Citizens' comments regarding agenda, non-agenda items, we have Mr. Jim Fields here today.
Hey there. So this is the second meeting in a row, there's not been an agenda. There's nothing printed over here. I do have a statutory request that's been filed with the clerk's office to get copies of agendas, so this is the second meeting of this. I've not received one from the clerk's office. So, I don't know what's going on with that. Yes. I gotta check here.
You asked it, what was your question?
Well, there's no agenda.
Oh, over there?
There's no agenda, and I have a statutory request with the clerk's office to send me agendas and the former minutes for all public meetings. So.
Is that supposed to be via email, or?
Yeah, it was going really well for a while, and now it's dropped off, so I don't know if it's, you know, yeah. That's my concern that's my immediate concern anyway, and not just my concern, but other people's concerns as well.
Is it on the new webpage too? I mean, do we put the minutes on the webpage?
It's not on the webpage.
Jim's supposed to get a copy sent to him.
Okay.
When he meets statutory request, he requests it for him, like,
Yeah.
made to have
He's
copies.
paying for it, so.
Yeah, I'm paying for it and I put it in there, so you can put in a request and it's good for a year, and Donna granted me 6 months instead of the statutory request of a year.
Okay.
And I'm being charged pretty heavily, and I've requested for statements on my account for 4 months and not received one as well. So my balances and everything, but that's, seems to be a separate issue that I'm gonna have with the clerk's office, it appears.
Could you send that down to Tammy, please?
Sure. Tammy,
That's it.
That's every month, right?
Yeah.
It's every meeting.
Every meeting.
Every meeting he's supposed to get it.
There's also a request in that any meeting that has to be posted, statutory is also posted in the paper. That's the second part of it that I brought up. That last one, I've had no response from the city back on receiving that email or any confirmation as well.
And you brought that up with council also?
Absolutely. And I hand-delivered a notarized copy of that. So anything I bring to the city is notarized and hand-delivered, also an email, so. But I mean, we can keep playing this, but
Right.
I'm trying to play nice and not have to do this. I mean, all this does is cost me money and frustration, and it's not cool until you have to push back harder. I don't wanna push back harder, I feel like I get pushed back on enough, honestly.
Who handles is it Donna that handles all that? All the mailings?
Yes.
All right, so. You got that, Tammy?
Mhm.
Okay, anything else, Jim, or are we good there?
Oh, no, that's it.
Okay. Okay, moving on, in regards to communications. Then we all have it in the packet there, the, minutes we got. A lot of stuff marked confidential, so I won't really go over much on it, just, when you guys get a moment, try to go through the information that we got in regards to phase 2 of the condo project, and, the correspondences between, our lawyer and their lawyer. It's a lot of reading, I was reading some of it, I'm still gonna get through some more of it. What I received, let's see here, this will be over the communications too, if I'm correct.
That'll be on old business.
Old business or new business?
Street analysis, okay, unfinished business.
Okay, alright, awesome. Alright, I received a mailing from the University of Michigan, the Graham Sustainability Institute. In regards to, I'm gonna leave it here on the desk, or on the table for anybody who wishes to read it. It's regards to planning and zoning for better battery energy storage systems, the guide for Michigan local government. And, it's more or less a guideline if, in regards to either a small business or a business, I breezed through it a little bit, or even residents that is looking for battery storage, for either their solar or the wind, whatever they have on their house. And, from what it's saying there is, it's recommendations on how to create a zoning ordinance for for on-site battery storage. So if you have solar panels on your house and you want battery storage, something that we wanna look into in the future. I don't think there's any resident here that has solar panels, that I believe.
You said we should create what now?
Battery energy storage.
Oh, sorry.
Here, do you wanna pass it down to Larry?
There's one on Benton for sure.
Is there a battery storage? I mean, they have.
I'm not sure.
Okay. But it's, everybody knows it's up and coming, the green energy. And this is even before, like if DTE came in and wants to put solar panels on an open, vacant land that we have. It's a guideline to creating a zoning ordinance for battery storage on a property within the city limits. And they mailed this out to all the communities. So if you wanna look through it, I'm gonna leave it here, because it is a lot. I breezed through it a little bit, and that's when I got the gist of it. If anybody has any questions, you know, it's
And they have a lot more impact
There's gonna have a lot more impact on
on
the city.
townships.
Yes,
They're trying to usurp the state of Michigan. They're somewhat successful there right now to override local zoning ordinances
correct.
for solar, for wind, and then also when you're talking about storage battery systems, you're talking like a 40. You're talking big areas of land which won't affect us so much as a mile square city, but it could be right outside.
Correct, right outside or even in your own backyard, so like the house on Benton that has solar panels, if they wanted to increase battery storage, we would have to, you know, look at zoning for that, depending on the size of the batteries and how much property they have.
Right.
Just a recommendation from, the institute there. So that's all I have for communication, for my minutes. There's everything there. Okay, moving on, new business. Phase 2 condo build. And we have, that's in regards to the packets, I think, Mr. Weaver.
Yes.
You wanna touch base on that for us, or?
Well, I'm not gonna go over the whole thing,
Just
a
a
couple
breeze
of
over.
highlights there. I just went through and, oh, I got about 6 pages here, 7 pages. Basically following our kind of ordinance, this would be the order of the applicant, which would be Memphis Meadows or any other builder, what they are required to do to initiate a build for a condo. Some of these things have not been done. It's pretty much start all over again if they want to submit any kind of request for a phase 2 development. So this just highlights some of the things in our condo ordinance, which is in the code book. Let's see what's
Steve, have they been approached, what they have to do? Have we-
It's right here, Larry. It's right in here what they have to do according
I
to.
know,
ordinance.
but have they been, they should know what they have to do, I guess is what I'm.
That's their responsibility, not ours.
Okay,
I was just making us aware of what the protocols
Yeah.
are. According to our ordinances, strictly it's just black letter law, as
okay.
we were told. Highlighted a couple of things,
Page 3.
particularly the detention pond issue. So I've received right-of-way easements. Did include some forms that are blank, with no signatures or dates on them. We've been promised those for 3-4 years. Practically. And some other details on the whole detention pond issue.
I noticed, they were approached by an attorney, on the detention pond, and they didn't really respond to that, I didn't get any response.
No, they're not adequate with.
No.
There's several places there I highlighted the number of different areas that we should build it, and just to bring people up to date, I guess this is as good a time as any too, for Macomb County Commission of Public Works. I was there today, requested that assessment of the remaining land, and it's already been done. And I spoke with the plan review manager of the stormwater division, Daryl D. Gashes.
Captures. Oh.
And he was real helpful, and he said that he could probably have that done before the next city council meeting. And real good news is he's not going to charge the city for it because we are another municipality. So that $1,200 I requested is not
Yeah,
going to
Steve, what they're being responsible to do, or what you're requesting, is it actually a survey of how the water be contained or controlled in phase 1 and phase 2? Is that what they're
Well-
looking at?
In a nutshell, what they do is, in a typical year, they issue something like well over 1,000 soil removal permits. So anytime something's getting built, you have to get a permit from the Public Works Commission. And then they also do reviews of the sites. And in a recent year, they did 14,000 of those.
Yeah.
So they take a look at it, they tell, you know, they want to know exactly what kind of soil you're removing. That has to be noted. And one of the responses we got from their attorneys did have a page addressing that was just for phase one. And the details were in there saying they need to, you know,
So
disclose if they're gonna be moving any kind of earth whatsoever in relation to detention ponds, digging basements, roads, all that kind of stuff.
now they look at how the water is,
Well, yeah,
drained from the property?
It actually, the division is storm water division.
Okay, okay.
So it has to do with all the drainage in all of Macomb County. So that they keep close tabs on anything that would affect county drainage system. And even if it is not attached to a county drainage system, they must review it and say whether they want to be involved in it, which in the case that we're in right now, they don't necessarily have to be involved in it because they are not on, we're 780 feet from the Schaefer drain, which is a county drain. We are not on a waterway, nor are we on a county road. Those are the three instances where they are gonna weigh in and say, we're gonna be involved with the engineering and the build of these things.
Okay, they now are going to be involved, is that what you're saying?
They're just gonna do an assessment. They're just looking at the drainage.
Okay.
They're gonna come and say, this looks good, this doesn't look good. They're gonna just eyeball it,
Okay,
see what
now-
they think. I gave them, if anybody wants to know what I communicated to them today, there's a short letter and the information I gave them, you can make copies of that, so
Yeah,
everybody
okay,
can see what I'm asking.
Yeah, do they review the prints that are already drawn, or just, do they start from scratch, like they just look at it?
He did recall, just from memory, so he's sort of familiar with it, but that would have only had to do with phase one. That's all that's been filed. It's phase one. Nothing for phase two. There's nothing on the books for phase two.
Okay, and their reply in stage one originally was they had no jurisdiction over it, on phase one.
On the building or the engineering, they had no, and I asked him point blank today, that does not absolve them from building, the detention pond doesn't, no.
No, it wouldn't,
So that was a definitive no.
yeah,
So they are responsible for building that detention pond, as is pointed out in
Yeah.
several spots, but he did confirm that verbally with me today.
yeah.
So what we were getting after the last city council meeting was, we would just like Macomb County to look at this and tell us how it looks,
Okay.
because it affects such a large area, and the drainage and where it ties in going under Pratt Road,
Yeah.
across the street from that division, running right down along the easement that's along my house and between Tim Zimmer's house, and then on back to
Yeah,
Ashery
those are-
Creek, and Ashery
Yeah,
Creek
yeah.
into the Bell River.
Yeah, the last house, I think it's lot 10, I believe.
Correct.
There's a 12-foot easement there.
There is,
That will then take it from,
which has not been filed with the city.
no.
Nor have the swales or easements between Jim's house, nor the east-west
There-
easements, nor have they been filed.
Okay, there
Nor
is
the detention pond area has been filed.
and there is a tube going from, between two houses there, I don't know what lot numbers is. From Bell River, there's a tube out, I don't know, I guess this goes out, certainly on the tube out there. That'll eventually, I'm saying, tie in with the detention pond.
Well, from the back slopes will go to the back of the properties to the west, and the front slopes are supposed to go to the ditch on Pratt Road. And also on Pratt Road, there is, for Lois and Eleanor subdivision, there is a drain that is going into that ditch, which is not functional right now either. I think it was crushed during construction or something. So that $1.6 million project we did include a lot of drainage, has some issues,
Yeah.
because that will also feed into the Bell River ditch and then go to Pratt and then out through actually.
Well, then, what the end result is that we'll have some direction from Macomb County.
Well,
How this will be.
See, they did 14,000 of them last year. They can sure figure it out quicker than I can.
Yeah, okay. And those. have
And I
that-
took some pictures today just to kind of familiarize everybody with it, so you can see.
Okay.
Joe?
Sure, that's east-west. That's looking like at the first, or rather, as you go north on Bell River Road, that would be the first house. You can see some of the snow pile there. That is supposed to be a drainage swale, so that water coming down Bell River should make its way, have a slope here. So that's looking east-west there. This is right behind Lot 10, by the way.
All right.
We have a couple others there. That is looking between my house and Tim's house. That is where the culvert comes out on the other side of Pratt Road. You can see our guys, I don't know who did, but they dug it out a little bit. That disappears into that pipe. It goes diagonally across another couple properties, and that's where it ends up kind of coming together and flowing down into Ashray Creek to the due south of my house. So that's what they'll be tying into there. This is on the other side of that culvert that we just looked at. The pipe on the right is the one that is on Pratt Road, which will be carrying all that water down from Lois subdivision and the front of the Bell River houses. You can see there is the easement right there where you see the stake. So if you go, due north from there, that is lot 10 right there. You can see they just put the basement up, so that's the last lot.
That's the last lot.
They have, so this has got to be sloped properly, so that it's going to there, and then we have beyond that,
Darn it.
and you can see the stuff on topo maps that we've had before.
What are them things that
I think I had 5 pictures in
Yeah, let me see. There's it.
there. Okay, this one is looking back again toward the south, and this is the last private house on Pratt. You can see the dirt, that's where they're building the last house, and this detention pond is going to be behind there, according to the prints. As you can see, there's no water going back there right now, so you can see the next one. That's where the water is. So it's quite obvious the water's not draining where it should.
Okay.
And that is where the detention pond is supposed to be, and we should be seeing that operating correctly, so that these are the backyards of all the houses on Bell River, and there are some easements that are gonna go down that way. They will pick up, and actually, I think the line is like where that fence is.
Now, the retention pond just left there?
You can see it on the drawing.
Yeah.
Yes, that detention
that's
pond is in that
what's
general area. And you can see where the water is. That's where the lowest point is on those topo maps, which, for the 20 some odd years that I've lived there, never saw that. It always just drained naturally.
Yeah.
And so, I'm not saying it won't be fixed, but this is as of this afternoon.
Now, this will be fixed on phase 2 or?
No, it's supposed to be done in phase 1. It's supposed to have a
Phase one?
detention pond dug in phase 1. It says in 15 places.
There's a smaller one, I think, or whatever.
The dimensions are
The
there.
initial part of it, and then it's supposed to be made bigger with the second phase.
Okay.
There it is. I outlined it on,
Sorry, I didn't get these scanned in.
I'll show you.
The only scanner I have is the one at work.
Where,
Yes.
phase 1. Phase 2 shows the expansion.
Yeah, okay.
If you want to take a look at that, you can.
Yeah,
I don't know if you got one of those.
I think I
Yeah,
have
well,
it someplace, yeah.
it documents
Yeah.
what's going on there.
Okay.
So that's where we're at with that, and actually that detention pond will take up a good bit of space there, you can tell by the drawings, but there's the low spot. And detention pond needs to be built there, then we need to see proper flow from that. And if you look beyond that, you can see the rise all the way back to the tree line.
Back here?
So there's 8 acres there that come into play eventually, somehow, even if they don't do anything, or if they do build anything. And, keep in mind, we got 13 roads, 13 driveways that are shed water like that. And it's not like it used to be just vegetation or farm field. That really adds a load quick. And we add whatever is added back there at some point in the future. all that asphalt, all that roof space, we have heavy rains, that's all coming this way. And it's gotta flow right.
Yeah, okay. Now, the county storm, our public works there, you said they'd have that by early January sometime then, sounds like.
He was pretty confident that he could have it by the 7th of January, which is our
Okay.
next city council meeting.
Okay, all right.
Seemed pretty confident about that.
Okay, that will give us,
Yeah, just give us a,
some
professional opinion on how
Yeah.
things are looking. Could be all aces as far as I know, but,
Yeah,
I'm just out there poking around as a layman, just seeing what I see there.
yeah, okay. All right.
All right. Moving on, professional planner Karen Lever. I wasn't sure if she was gonna be here.
No, she had another meeting to go to, but she will come and will be happy to field any questions you have, and she will go over this. So
Okay.
you have a chance to really look at what she did here so far and generate any questions that you have or anything that you might want her to look into further. She will be happy to do that.
Can I give some, little bit of comment on this so far, and what I
Yeah, Larry gives us a
what I
chart
made
here.
and passed out in that memo here addresses some of these issues.
I haven't had a chance to read that, so I don't.
No, I didn't respond until I saw this. But I'm quite confused. I don't know if you got a copy of that chart or not, I think.
From you?
Yeah,
No, I just got it. I didn't.
no, if you got I know that, but if you got a chart there, I just like that chart, I think.
Is that out of our
Yeah.
code book?
No.
I sent that to her.
I
Yeah,
know,
that's what's in
but
here.
If
But
you
this
got a
is-
copy of it, I'd just like to go over a couple of
Sure.
issues there.
Yes,
And-
I'm gonna
and
share
just,
this with you.
cite-
You have one.
If you got that chart, I think it's in
You
there
got it.
somewhere.
There, okay. All right, go ahead, Larry,
Yep, we're
take the
ready.
floor.
Okay, and then you can follow the memo a little bit too, but, let me just go over a few things in that memo that I cited here. It's, the current, Memphis streets are as follows. Local streets right of way are 35 to 50 feet. Asphalt is 18 to 20 feet. Then major streets, the right of way is 66 feet, and asphalt is 22 to 25 feet. Now, the recent local major street reconstruction, and that was Church and Mechanic Street a few years ago. The right of way on those streets is 50 feet, and the asphalt is 20 feet. Now, the major streets that we've done, Boardman Road east from city limits to Main Street. The right of way is 66 feet, and asphalt is 25 feet. And then Bell River Road, Boardman Road to north city limits. The right of way is 66 feet, and the asphalt is 22 feet. And I made a little note there that this road engineering on Bell River Road was done by the St. Clair County Road Commission. And then I made another comparison of the Richmond Garden Grove condo development, which I owned a condo in there at one time, and the Memphis Meadows proposed condo development. And I just made a few comparisons there on that, and there's, I think she put that in there, I believe.
Yeah, I see four.
Yeah, and if you look, and then I made a schematic or a sketch of both, the proposed for the Memphis Meadows, and also the setbacks and propose, what is actually in Garden Grove. And I think I made a little, right at the bottom there, number 4. The road width, which we discussed above, which I discussed, already did that. But then, on the, no, wait a minute, that's where that isn't where this, that's different, I'm sorry, that's, That's some of the setbacks of the current one that are off, way off. Okay. Okay, it's out of schematic I have, or a sketch I have here that I wrote up. On, and I got the Richmond and Memphis. And it's here, right here, Steve, on here. And if you look at that, I'll just kind of go over it. And that don't mean that we want to be like Richmond, or we want to adjust, or what Memphis is at current, how they have done it so far. And some of them, as you know, are aren't with our ordinance, they're in violation of our ordinance, okay? The garage to the sidewalk in Richmond, that's the garage to the sidewalk, is 15 feet. Memphis, on the print, is 20 feet. And Richmond sidewalks are only one side only, and it's adjacent to the curb. And they only allow parking on one side, by the way. So then, the sidewalks is 5 feet, and of course ours is 5 feet, and ours is on both sides of the road, by the way. The grass area in Richmond is 0, of course. In Memphis, they have another 5 foot. The right-of-way is 27 feet in Richmond. The right-of-way in the Memphis prints is 45. The garage to the road is 20 feet in Richmond. It's 30 feet in Memphis. The garage to the garage, that's from one garage to the other, and you go across the street, is 62 feet in Richmond, and it's 85 feet in Memphis. Curb to curb is in Richmond is 24 feet, and curb to curb in ours is 25 feet. The asphalt in Richmond is 22 feet, and ours is 23 feet. That just gives you a comparison, and say I did own one in Richmond, and also I didn't live in there because I couldn't sell my house, but I had it rented out for a few years. Eventually sold it. I also owned a detached condo, and I actually lived there for quite a few years down off a whole road. And I was also treasurer of their club or the association for a while. But both had a management company that run them. The one in Richmond has one, and the one I lived in.
And they would be governed by the Richmond Condo Ordinance.
They are governed by the Richmond Condo Ordinance, but I say the association also had a company that actually took care of the
Sure,
running. Yeah.
But I'm saying, but the governing document is what Richmond has.
Absolutely, you go by that, you go by that. Now, I want you to, and this is where I've been confused to this from day one. And this chart that the planner
Yeah.
made up, and it explains it. Now, if you look at that chart, and you go to the second column, and it says pavement width measured from curb to curb.
Yep.
And they got the various curb to curb of that's what the cement is. Then, you don't have it on there, but I went and looked at our right of way, and the right of way, and let's just go to I guess we should just go to the major streets here, major thoroughfares and so on. Go down to where it says minor residential streets.
Mhm.
Okay, and the right of way there is 60 feet in our ordinance. Okay, they got curb to curb on the pavement 28 feet. She's got on the suggestion that should be 60 feet.
Yep.
Well, that don't make sense to me at all. And then if you go to the next one, multiple family residential streets, our right of way is 60 feet, and the curb to curb on the pavement is 56 feet, and she's suggesting 60 feet. And if you go down to the multiple family residential streets, the same thing, it's 60 feet right away, it's 51 feet on the curb to curb on the asphalt, and she's got suggested 60 feet. I guess and when you look, and what I read there first of what our streets are, this all exceeds exceedingly that. So there's, and I think I have the ability to kind of discern and understand what some of this says, and I'm just saying, there's something not right here. And
That second column definitely needs clarification.
Yeah, unless I'm misinterpreting it. That's why I say, and I think I got in my notes here too, that we do need clarification on a lot of that. So, Steve, I wouldn't mind if you would send some of this to her. And-
She's gonna show up here, and that's the time that we can ask her.
Well, I just,
You know, I'm
I'd
not-
like to have her prepared ahead of time, though.
Well, I can dash her an email, I guess, and tell her, but that's, you know, I had those same questions on that too. How is she measuring curb to curb? Because it doesn't seem to add up there.
No, it's.
Right.
Well, when she's in a room and she's got a pencil and a paper and a pad, I'm hoping she can explain it. I don't wanna keep passing stuff down secondhand.
Well-
She's a professional.
Okay, well, what I was suggesting though is maybe if she had if we sent it to her ahead of time, she could come prepared and know what questions she's got to answer, rather than just lay it on her at that night. Give her just a little bit of preparation.
Yes, I was gonna do that.
Okay. I don't know, I don't want to step on your toes, Steve.
No, that's all right. It's
But
just,
I-
it just
what-
seems
what
like
I
I
was
keep
ready
getting
here-
homework assignment after homework assignment after homework assignment. And
Yeah,
I want them to answer those questions.
I know.
She's looked at this, she gave us an executive summary. I think she can answer that question pretty quickly when she's here in person. I will go ahead and send it, or a quick email, but I'm done beating this thing to death. I want a professional to take over and tell me
no,
what to do.
I don't object to that, I'm glad you're doing that, no, don't get me wrong.
Because I don't know, Larry, I just don't know.
Well,
I'm expecting them to tell me what they know.
Yeah, well, when you look at this, it just don't make sense whatsoever, and I would think a planner.
Yeah, there's a
Planner
discrepancy.
would know that, you know, so I don't know, I'm.
It could just be a semantic or something, I don't know, and I'm not even gonna speculate. But obviously, yes, you're not gonna have 56 feet of pavement.
No,
And that's the issue we are dealing with in our own code book.
I don't.
Right.
So we never answered it then, I can't answer it now, but the person that can answer it should be here next month.
That's
She
why.
will be here, she said she was gonna be
She's
here.
I will get her here as soon as I possibly can. She's
You
not
know,
too much
and
of a
another
rush.
thing.
Okay, that's,
I wouldn't
I
mind.
would, yeah, we can work on that.
I wouldn't mind, to get this expedited.
I've been trying for a year,
Well,
Larry.
let's, I like to, even if we gotta cut 2 meetings a month or something, I'd like to get it expedited, because it's.
I'm all for it.
It's been hanging out here too long.
I've been
Now, I
trying
don't wanna
to,
see
I've been
it-
trying to expedite this every month, sometimes twice a month, for over 2 years.
Yeah. Well,
So
I-
you're not gonna talk to anybody who wants to expedite this more than I am. And I'm willing for all the help I can get on this issue.
Okay.
I've done everything that I know how to do on it.
No, Steve, I'm not criticizing.
I understand, I'm just frustrated, Larry, myself.
I know,
I
but
don't mean
I'm just saying.
I don't mean to be
No.
short with you, you know, I
Well-
don't.
We've been dealing with this for 2 or 3 years, and it's just.
It's time to resolve it.
That's right, and that.
Get a definitive
She's
answer.
got 60 feet over here, and that's, in some cases, that's our right of way. She should have caught that, in my opinion, something
Well,
wrong.
she's got a nice comparison, she's got Romeo, New Baltimore, and
Yeah, I was looking
and you
at
can
that.
see as she's bumped up on the suggested things, they're not that much out of it, they're a little bit more.
Yeah,
But I think it reflects reasonably, you know, looking at this after 50 years of it being written. So if you look at all those figures,
yeah,
you know, it goes 120 in one place, 120, she's written that, 60, 60, 60, 60, we're all the same. We're, you know, 75 foot radius. A lot of it's the same, but it's up to date with these places that have
well.
updated their
Yeah,
stuff.
the thing is, none of it makes sense to me.
Nope.
And I don't think I'm stupid, it just don't make sense at all.
Well, Larry, I'm right there in the same club with you because I don't get it either.
Okay,
Which prompted me to say, help,
yeah.
give me
Well,
somebody
the
else.
planners.
She's been doing this for 20 years, I guess.
Yeah. Well, there's something wrong.
Now, she might have a very simple
I
explanation.
want to give her a big blank piece of paper and a big fat magic marker and flip chart it for me.
Yeah.
I can understand that, right? How wide is it? Where's the road? Where's the curb?
Right.
Write the dimensions in there.
Okay, I won't go into any more of this, you'll get it, you can read it, because I made some other comments there.
I won't read this when I get home there. I didn't get a
And
chance yet.
and I apologize, because I couldn't get it to you ahead of time.
No, it's all right. You don't always read this
Yeah.
stuff.
Anyway, I guess I've said enough.
So I'm right on board with you with the width, because on the widths, that puzzles me right away.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
had to do a
it's
little
kinda-
more explanation
Absolutely.
with that.
Yeah, okay.
I'm still winning this.
So yeah, before she gets here, that the chart Larry's talking about is the one that she proposed. She's got a couple of page executive summary of what she did for us, and she'll be happy to follow up. I mean, she will, this is only the first attempt to talk to her really, and we haven't talked to her in person yet, so I'm expecting that to be fruitful.
He's beneficial. Okay, so that's on the new business. Going over to unfinished business. Reviewing the master plan. I think Steve and I, we were over at, Terry. I think we did that, right? How's the progress coming on that?
On what?
On the master plan, I know she's doing a rewrite for us.
Yes, she is. And last month we said we needed
The zones.
zoning maps. And we needed work on page 48 of the plan, I think it's 49, there's 1 through 6 zoning map changes from our 2012 that need to be verified, updated, corrected, whatever. And then there's another 1 through 8 bullet point items on 48 or 49, proposed zoning text changes which are written in the 2020 master plan, which need to either be updated, verified, or tossed. So there's 14 points there that need to be gone over. That needs to take place, which, you know, I brought up last week. Then we, of course, have to still take photographs.
Yeah, I was going through the maps.
She has already really laid out a lot of the text and just left blanks for photos and so forth. She can manipulate all that. So I'm trusting that, you know, that what it was section 2 or 3 of all the census data that we were waiting for a long time.
Yeah,
She got that, and I think she's worked that into it also. And now we're at the point where we gotta do zoning maps. We gotta do future land use map. We said we wanted a satellite map of.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
We wanted, a simple street map, you know, and a little graphic somewhere that shows our paved roads. If you'll have to generate a list of them, they should, I think they're in one of the minutes, or
Well, I
I
found,
sent them to you.
yeah, I got the list, under here. Future land use, central business district, parcel numbers.
That's where we're at.
Yeah, so I have the parcel, I found the St. Clair County parcel numbers, but trying to figure out how to redo these. You know, the size of them where I can actually save it, because if I download it, it's, like before, it just squishes it all into itty bitty little numbers that you can't even read.
Well, there's these various maps that are out there that got company names on them.
Yeah,
A lot of
'cause
these
this is,
tablets are probably out there.
okay,
It just has to be investigated. You know, I could ask Terry, who's working on the plan, if she had any ideas, but, you know, we should be doing this work here as best as we can, and then give it to them, put together. We've identified what we need to do. We don't have anybody doing it though.
if
So
I
what are we
found
gonna do
these
about it?
here. I found the parcels for St., I mean, because we're split between St. Clair and Macomb counties, I gotta go to 2 different sites.
I
To
got
get
a
those.
map from one half, and I got a map from the other half.
Okay.
Both county buildings, and I got them. That's one right there from the Macomb side.
Yeah, this
You know,
is
this
St. Clair
information's
site.
out there, it's available. Somebody has to do it though, and I've kind of
I'm working on it.
reached my end here, so we need to either put a committee together and do some homework assignments and start working on these maps, or we're just gonna keep coming back and talking about it next month.
Well, I'm gonna try to work on it this weekend and sit down. I got it now. I found I found the areas for Oakland for St. Clair and Macomb. So St. Clair was a little bit more difficult, but I found it. These are actually the parcel numbers. For
I
the
think-
St.
I'll
Clair
show you
side.
this one here. I think this one would help us a lot, and I didn't go any further investigating it, but just,
Yeah,
that was, yeah, it's not on there. It's just the basic one that we see in our packs all the time, it's a zoning map.
yeah, I couldn't find that. I've been searching online for the zone, for
Well,
the zone map.
it's in the master plan too. There's a logo in corner there, that, you know, that's probably PDF, just like you said, that you got that other PDF, right? There's a couple of companies out there that have these that can help us, or I could even ask the planner if we get to that, but gotta have some direction on it. Just can't just leave it on the table and think it's gonna get done by itself.
Right, I understand.
Well, Amber's the assessor for the city, then shouldn't she have access to this stuff?
The zone map is the older one, it hasn't been updated, that's why we're trying to find.
But yes, she's tied in with these various offices, and I share these maps with them. I want to get one of each half to get framed and put up there so people could just see the basic parcel outlines with a parcel number on it. Just make it real simple. I mean, like they printed me out, before I got what I wanted on that one, they printed me out about 4 different ones. So they have the ability to put different information on it, and you know, so I finally got down to that one there from Macomb County. It's just the basic parcels and the parcel ID. So anybody comes, you know, that's my place right there, and I need to know what my taxes are, or did I pay my taxes, so forth and so on.
Let's see if I can come up with
And
it.
that zoning map, I'm sure we could use that as a template, and you just have to be able to edit it. For when we, you know, we have to confirm the central business district boundaries, because we added a little bit there. That's one of those 14 bullet points.
And then we're rezoning them residential multiple up for the.
Yeah, so there's all, and, but the thing, it's all detailed on that, I think it's 48 or 49 of the master plan, where you see all those bullet points. A few of them we did. One was creating a language for commercial overlay, C1, R1.
Mhm.
We did that, and we adopted that already in our ordinance, and we're just gonna mirror that. There's a couple other things that we may have done, but that's what we need to look at, all those, and everybody needs to agree whether we did them or whether they need to be done, and if they need to be done, who's gonna do it? Let's split it up, and everybody take a project and get working on it, and we could get this thing done in a couple of months, I would hope. I mean, I was hoping we could get this done in a year, and it's been like 26 months now.
Alright,
They're not criticizing, it's just facts, that's just where we're at.
yeah, I have to go down through it. I don't know why it's running so slow now. I said I did find some of the maps. So I was
Can you pull
working-
up the master plan and look, see if you can get page 48, see if I got the number there right?
Yeah, it's this one.
Just to give people an idea if you have one home. I'm missing the pages here, so I must have given it to somebody for a packet or something.
Yeah, because I have to find my packet. Page 48.
Yeah, try that. It's close to that.
I don't know why.
Almost to the end.
Almost the end. Come on. Keep going.
That's the one I'm talking about, that we could probably get that map.
Put that one up there.
Yeah, because I've seen it done in different colors, and so, yeah, that one right there. That's kind of our old zoning map, which needs to be updated. So the company that did that map, you know, I'm sure that we can make use of that template. We just
Yeah, if I
have to be
can
able to
get
edit
the
it
template, yeah.
and see if, you know, somebody needs to figure out how to get that done. And I'm not the most adept at doing that. I can go find the information, but I'm not gonna be sitting behind a computer doing that.
Right, I mean, I said, we have the master plan that's printed out, but where's the original copy of that? If we got the original copy of that master plan
The
from.
one that's on file with the county is the one that's in our master plan, and that's really questionable.
Right, but I'm saying is.
So we just need to make a
master-
new one and get that on file with the county. That's what we need to do.
Right, but in order to get this here, to make any changes to this map, whoever created this map, we have to get the original document, the original PDF, the original file, Word
Yeah,
document,
maybe Amber could figure out where to get that.
where it came from, right? Whoever did it.
Is that the updated one that we did in 2015? I think it is. Is that where, is that, no, the master plan was 2012. I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and this is just,
Yeah, we
He's
changed,
going into the 40s.
we changed the zoning to the master plan in 215 and 16.
Yeah, 215 it got adopted, I think,
Yeah.
212 it was.
Be nice to see some of these photos,
I think it
we have
was
the
Ray
original,
Kim that did that.
keep going, 42.
No, not that one, try the next one. No,
Next page.
yeah, just keep going. There'll be bullet points.
This is the clean
All right,
version.
there's, no, keep going. 47, okay, there's 6. There they are, right there. That page right there needs to be verified, confirmed. Let's go to 47, 48. Let's go right to the bottom.
Every time I zoom in on it, it doesn't want me to do it. I should have. 47. I'm getting there.
Yeah, I'll look this in.
What? Look what? These right here.
Yes, there's 6 and there's 8. The zoning plan, those 6 points. And each one of those points, 1 through 6, 1 through 8, we need to divide up and make them complete or throw them out. But these were things that were published in the 2012 plan that were supposed to have been done.
Some of them were, I think.
Yeah, that's what.
Well, that's what we
you
need to determine.
Yeah,
Like I said, I know the language one on the bottom, proposed zoning text changes. All those need to be looked at, but we did do remove section 555C1 neighborhood commercial zone district from the ordinance. C2, we need to remove that, but we did write the language for C1. And the CBD boundaries, yes, those definitely gotta be changed, I know that. First one, wanna write something for the intent of each future land use area that go with a future land use map, or don't do it, I don't care. Or no, that's one, draft new C1 commercial zoning, that's done. For parcels outside, it's
We just did that earlier.
height, area, bulk, so every one of those points, we just can't ignore them. We gotta either confirm them as good, not good, needs work, delete them. So, why don't you divvy those up, Tom?
Let's see here. Yeah, didn't we just did we didn't do the C1 commercial zoning district language. This is back in the old.
Yes, we did.
That was
That language was rewritten, and it was gone through the planning commission, and it was forwarded to the council adopted it.
Okay.
That language is there. All we have to do is mirror it exactly if we want to put it under the zoning, which each zoning district should have a short description of the master plan too.
Right.
And I think that language is important to put there, so there's no confusion whatsoever anymore what that C1 district is with the R1. C1 overlay over residential.
Why are we still looking at the 2012 master plan?
Because I want to know what didn't get done, and those are things in 2012 that didn't
After
get
2
done.
years, you still don't know what hasn't gotten done?
That's correct.
We should have a draft of the new one, and you guys should have like an outline of things that have to be done by the next meeting. It seems like we're just coming to another meeting saying, well, this ain't done yet, so we need this, we need this, we need this, and then you adjourn and you leave, but nothing's getting done. Like, you can't just have meetings and keep saying this has to be done.
Well, that's right, I think it's a good idea to just divvy them up and pass them out, because,
But what I'm saying is, why don't you have a draft of the master plan
Tammy, I've been
going
trying.
forward?
And I do have a draft. I have a draft of all the text. That's been forwarded. I chased down innumerable things, but these are the things that are remaining. I can't squeeze them out of stone, and I can't do them all
No,
myself.
but I mean, you're still looking
And I'm
at,
just a rep.
but you're still looking at the old stuff.
Well, we're
so-
rewriting the master plan is what it is. isn't it?
Okay, so
We have-
what do you have
we're
done
forcing
so
it down.
far? Because, like,
How far
I'm not
we
seeing
got?
anything that's
We've gotten, I
done.
think we're down to what, section 14 already on it.
All of the text pretty much is rewritten, except for the index, except for the acknowledgements.
I think it would be,
What else?
I think it would be very helpful, I know it would be helpful to me if we had, like, if we had something, if we had the new one. If we had a draft of the new one.
We gotta have all the components before we put it together. I don't want a partial draft, I want a draft for everybody to review.
Well,
We've been,
but
you know, I've been
partial,
doing
well-
section 1, section 2, we've gone through all those drafts, approved them painstakingly.
I'm gonna have to go through all my paperwork and see what we have done and what we have rewritten. Because Ken Dunbar was going through on this and we had the red lines and then,
I know what we got done.
good.
well, I.
The only thing that needs to be done, again, for the 10th time, section 8, there's 8 sections.
Right.
The implementation matrix is the 8th section. We've gone through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We reviewed the language, we've edited the language, it has come to this committee, it has been signed off on. All that text is in singular Word documents, which I have forwarded to the planner. That's done. The implementation part,
Section 8.
I said is fairly simple. I made a presentation on that probably fully 18 months ago. And I said I'm ready to do it again when you all are ready to look at it. And we're gonna finish it up. I'm gonna do it one more time. That's not a hard one. It's what's ongoing, what we wanna do in the future. Gonna simplify that chart a little bit, a little bit of graphics involved. That's the body of the master plan. That is complete. Now we need photographs. We need a half a dozen maps. We need the
Yeah, working on
index.
the maps.
And we need the acknowledgements. And then we need to notify the state. And we need to notify all our neighbors that they can review it online. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm not doing anything until I got a rough draft in my hands. You all may do what you want. I'm just a liaison from the council. So I think I've overstepped my bounds anyway as it is, these past couple of years. So it's up to you guys how you wanna do from here. That is a brief overview of what is done. I can't say any more plain than that, and those 14 points need to be addressed. How you wanna do it's up to you. And any resources that you want, let me know, I'll get them for you. I will take it to the council and ask them for resources. You know, we have the ability to ask for help here, right in the planning commission's charter. We can ask for resources and monies to get things done if we're stuck. Hence bringing a planner in. $500 finally gets us off the dime. It starts getting us off the dime with the roads and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Same with the printing. You know, we have that piece of the puzzle in place. What's not in place is the finished work of this committee. That's what needs to be done, so it's up to you guys how you want to finish that up. I'm here just to assist you and help you. Give me any assignments you want. But now I think everybody should have a clear idea of where this is at the moment. I don't know if anything else I can add to it than that.
I guess we'll go through
Actually,
section 8.
there is a bit done, but there's a bit more to wrap it all up and produce a first rough draft, of which we will get 7 copies, and we'll all go through it, edit it, make our changes, hopefully, you know, maybe just one time. We won't have to print dozens of them, and then we will
Just
go
one
to the council, let the council review it, and let them make their decisions on it. If they approve it, then we gotta notify, everybody needs to be notified, and we decide how many copies, hard copies we want printed up. I think you should have at least 1 hard copy per member. I want one, just for reference, and when I'm working on stuff, I wanna look at pages, I don't wanna go on a computer for that stuff. So that's it. Then we can move on to bigger and better things.
All right, Larry, the zoning thing, was that the whole city? You guys did a rezoning over everything?
Yeah,
all of that?
It's all of those points.
The master plan was reviewed and approved in 2012.
Right, but since then, you've
Yeah,
done
and
a
then-
zoning.
Then in 2015, when I was mayor, and then 2016, when Eric was mayor, we wound it up. And we took and changed the zoning to the master plan. And that, at that time, was supposed to be completed. And I'll have to go through those 14 points you mentioned. I think I got a file at home, I can look at it. But I thought, and maybe erroneously, but I thought we addressed all the recommended changes at that time.
No, we did not.
Well, that's what I'm hearing now, so if we didn't, then we.
Because I personally wrote the language for the C1 commercial overlay, because that was not spelled out anywhere in our ordinances or our master plan. Hence, we had all the confusion with the funeral home.
Yeah. Okay, well, Yeah, that's something I'm not familiar with. I thought at that time we made we changed all the zoning to the master plan. And of course, now you say we didn't, but
Basically, they're all left undone, Larry. I've looked at them 100 times. Well, you know, like for instance, across Mill Street, we wanted to change that to industrial across from the factory.
I thought
And
the
there
zoning
was
was changed.
the addition of central business
Now, are you
district.
saying we didn't change it, or we didn't show it, reflect it on the?
I don't see it.
No, we didn't change it, or we changed it, but we didn't reflect it on the map,
It's not on the zoning map.
huh?
It's not on the zoning map.
Well, I think physically, I mean, it was changed, if it don't show on the zoning map, that's another issue. I gotta file it home, I'll dig it out and see, you know, I can't do it for the next 3 days, Brian, no, I don't know.
I don't wait
I
for
don't know
stuff,
if
Larry, I
I'll sell-
understand.
I don't know if I'll be able to sell good for papers, so let's keep that going, I'll see. But if I don't, I'll pull that out, I'll try to understand.
Well, it's been such a while, Larry, that's why I thought just all 14 of those points, it would do well to just look at them individually, fresh. Nobody's looked at them, apparently, for an awful long time. I have,
Yeah,
and I'm not satisfied with them.
well,
You know, somebody else look at them, tell me I'm wrong.
well, anyway, that's, Tammy, to answer your question, that's what we, okay, I'll have to say allegedly. Yeah. Okay.
Legend, okay.
But you're gonna look into that, Larry.
Pardon?
You're gonna look into that.
Well, yeah, I'll see if I got my file, because and look at it and see, because I thought if we didn't, but I thought we did.
Ask Amber if you don't have one of these, have print you one up, it's on page
No,
48.
I just got one of those. the other
Okay,
day.
it's on page 48, I believe, 48 or 49.
Okay. So there, you know, that's what he's looking into, is those bullet points.
There's 14 bullet points, Larry will look into those. And anybody else who might want to take a peek, we need all the help we can get.
You said that's page 48?
I think it is, Larry, yeah, it's right there somewhere, we're gonna pay, I think it is exactly 48 though.
You know, when I give any pictures, I put that out there. I got your picture, Steve. Mine's kinda grainy.
That's the fun part, that's easy, that's not gonna take long.
No, once we get them in there.
We got a few to start with, so.
Okay. I'd really like to get, like I said, the actual file of, you know, this, basically the computer file of whoever originally printed up this master plan. If we had that, because we might be able to edit it or copy the pictures, that, I mean,
Got her
that-
name, want me to forward it to you?
yes, and then I'll talk with her on it.
From Macomb County, we had a couple people helping us. From Macomb. I wasn't on that, but I understand we had a couple, and I got one. I'll dig it out.
So give her a call and see if she has the original PDF, and if I can get the PDF, so we can break it down. Instead of just doing a scanned pages like we have here, where we can edit it, but to get the original PDF from the county, we might be able to, pull some files off, or pull some information off of it. Okay, moving on, street analysis from Cazalet Planning, where you, that was
Okay.
unfinished on that, was there anything you wanted to touch in on that, or are we good on that?
I think we're kind of getting that, isn't it? That's most of this.
Yeah, we're talking about the street widths, yes.
We'll get that number, I'll get texted to you.
Okay, yeah, touch it to me.
She was Macomb plan.
Good, but then I'll call her tomorrow, or Friday. Good, I'm saying, it was busy. Okay, moving on. Comments from any of the commissioners? I think we've all had a voice tonight. Mr. Riley, anything to add?
Nope.
Ms. Taras?
Nothing on that.
Mr. Wilson?
Good enough already,
Okay. Ms. Garber?
Just wanna wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
Thank you. We have a
Happy
meeting.
New Year, see you in January.
Mr. Weaver, even though you're on the council, any other comments?
Yeah, anybody wants to see what I dropped off to the
Yeah, I have,
commissioner office?
I think I got a copy of that.
Make copies?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a copy of yours. I know I have one.
It's pretty simple, straightforward, and it's stuff I've already given you all kinds of reports. And
Yeah, so I need to, but I'll make a copy of that.
you got a copy? Here?
Let me see, the date, which one's that, the date 12/11? Yeah, I'll make a copy of them.
Yeah, try to see, I don't know if I have another one printed out, I probably got to see.
Yeah, 'cause I have all the other information, you guys. Oh, wait, it's right there. I do have a little snap sheet. You have this one? Okay. I got a tree. There.
You got two of them?
No, this is the one that was sitting there,
Oh,
so
okay.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I think you got two of these. All right, I'll take one back.
All right, take one back. It's all yours. Okay, Mayor Tammy, do you have anything to add?
Well, I would like to see at the next planning commission meeting that is scheduled, I'd like to see a draft of this thing and then a list of just, this is what's outstanding, and I would like to see people say, like, let's divvy this out and bring in to the next meeting, instead of just saying, again, these are the things that we're missing. You still don't have, that's why everything's getting kicked down the road, because you don't have a draft, you don't have, hey, these are the things that we need, and you're not assigning it, and everybody's kind of just sitting here.
I think, we should probably have another meeting, just strictly to discuss the bullet points and the master plan. Because we have condo stuff going on here, and
I think that's what put it aside, was going through all the information with the condos, because we were really moving with the master plan, and then we had phase 2
Right.
come through,
right,
and then everything got a standstill, and every time we turn
Right.
around,
Were you thinking
kept kicking
before
the can down the
end of the
road.
year or after the
Well,
year?
we're spending too much time on, if professional planner Karen is not here, and she's gonna be here at the next meeting, say, hey, this is in your packet, everybody review this, when she comes, we'll delve into it. We don't need to delve into it and talk about it, waste, 20, 30 minutes on it, if all we're gonna do is wait for her to come to the next meeting and then talk about it. You know what I mean? It's like, let's
Well,
talk about something that we can actually,
yeah, but at least we know
Get
now,
done.
at least we've discussed it, Larry has been pretty thorough about it, so now
Yeah.
we know what the issues are for her for January.
Anything else? Good to go?
Yes, take pity on the people standing on the corners tomorrow, it's like King Day. Don't run them over, give them a buck or two as you go by. Get a newspaper, big paper this year. Jason sold a lot of ads, did a good job. Made $4,000
Okay.
charity fund, Lions.
Very good.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, great job.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion adjourned.
I have a second.
That's okay.
All right, all in favor?
Bye.
Aye. All opposed?
Who was second? Steve?
Steve Weaver.
6.